The best version of you isn't some distant fantasy. It's a choice you make every single day, in every small moment, through every honest decision. It's not found in a sudden burst of inspiration or a perfect plan. It's in the way you show up when no one's cheering, in the way you speak to yourself when things go wrong, in the way you keep moving even when the path feels uncertain. You don't become your highest self by waiting. You become her by choosing discipline over distraction, choosing courage over fear, choosing growth over comfort. And the beauty is you don't need to have it all figured out to make that choice. You just need to be brave enough to take the next step. Not tomorrow, not someday now. This world will try to convince you that you need to be more successful, more perfect, more everything before you're worthy of peace, of power, of love. But the truth is, the best version of you doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being more of who you already are, without fear, without shame, without apology. It's easy to believe that transformation is this big dramatic thing, but it's not. It's quiet, it's intentional. It's in the way you decide to rise again after falling. It's in the way you choose to speak life into your own dreams. It's in the way you decide that you are no longer available for anything that dims your light. Every day you wake up is another chance to choose, not perfection, not performance, but power. The power to rewrite your story, to reclaim your worth, and to walk boldly in the direction of the person you were always meant to be. You're not waiting on life. Life is waiting on you. So choose yourself, choose now, and keep choosing until that version of you is no longer a vision, but your reality. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to validate your dreams, to tell you that you're ready, to open the door for you. That moment you're waiting for, the approval, the green light, the perfect timing, it doesn't exist. Because the truth is, you are the permission. You are the door. You are the one you've been waiting for all along. Too many people stay stuck in potential because they're still waiting for someone else to confirm their worth. But greatness doesn't ask for approval. It doesn't wait to be invited. It shows up boldly without apology. And that's exactly what becoming the best version of yourself demands. It demands that you stop looking outward for what you already carry within. It demands that you trust your own voice, your own intuition, your own fire. You don't need credentials to be powerful. You don't need a round of applause to be worthy. You don't need a title or a spotlight or someone else's blessing to rise. What you need is the audacity to believe that you matter, that your vision matters, that your life is yours to shape, to claim, to transform. And yes, people might doubt you. Some will question your path. Some will even walk away. Let them. Your journey isn't for their comfort. It's for your becoming. It's for the unfolding of a version of you that refuses to shrink, that refuses to be silenced, that refuses to wait one more day to start living on purpose. So speak your truth, make the move, take the risk, begin before you're ready, because no one else is coming to give you permission. That's your job, that's your power, that's your moment, and it starts the second you decide to own it. You are never too late to begin becoming who you're meant to be. That idea that it's too late, that your time has passed, that you missed your moment is one of the most dangerous lies you could ever believe. Because as long as you are still breathing, you still have time to change, to evolve, to rise. Life doesn't move on without you. It waits for your decision. It waits for your courage. It waits for the day you stop regretting the past and start building the future. There is no perfect age, no ideal timeline, no golden window that guarantees success or transformation. Some people bloom at 20, others bloom at 60. What matters is not when you arrive, it's that you choose to begin, and beginning isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. It's a whisper in your soul that says, I want more. It's the moment you stop settling. It's the shift when you realize that you don't have to stay stuck in a version of yourself that no longer feels true. You are not defined by what you didn't do yesterday. You are defined by what you choose to do today. That choice, that willingness to begin again is powerful beyond measure. And don't let the noise of the world distract you from that truth. People may doubt your timing, they may question your process, but none of them are living your life. Only you know the fire that's still alive inside of you. So, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, delayed, overlooked, or discouraged, stand up again, begin again. Because transformation is not bound by a deadline, it's bound by your decision to no longer live a life that's less than what you know you're capable of. And when you finally choose yourself fully and unapologetically, the universe will rise to meet you. You haven't missed your moment. Your moment begins the second you believe it still exists. Self love is not always gentle. It's not just bubble baths, kind words, or moments of stillness. Sometimes self love is fierce. Sometimes it looks like setting hard boundaries, cutting off what drains you, and walking away from the things you once thought you couldn't live without. It's holding yourself accountable when it would be easier to make excuses. It's telling yourself the truth, even when that truth stings, because loving yourself doesn't mean avoiding pain. It means choosing the kind of pain that leads to growth over the kind of comfort that leads to regret. The best version of you cannot be built on comfort alone. It is forged through responsibility, the responsibility to rise, to show up for yourself when no one else will, to demand more from your time, your energy, your life. It's about treating your own potential with the same seriousness you treat your obligations to others. That means no longer allowing your future to be an afterthought. That means doing the work, even when it's not pretty. Real self-love is discipline. It's saying no to distractions, not because you're being hard on yourself, but because you finally believe you deserve better. It's keeping your promises to yourself, not out of pressure, but out of respect. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I won't let you settle again, not this time. Because the moment you start holding yourself to that higher standard is the moment your life starts to reflect that inner shift. Don't confuse self-love with self-indulgence. One feeds your ego, the other builds your spirit. And when you truly love yourself, you stop entertaining anything that compromises your growth. You become loyal to your evolution, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That kind of love, the fierce, honest, soul-shaking kind, that's what transforms you. That's what builds the best version of you from the inside out. You have to be willing to outgrow your old self again and again. That's the uncomfortable truth about becoming the best version of who you are. It's not a one-time transformation. It's not a single breakthrough moment where everything changes and you're suddenly free. It's a constant process of shedding, unlearning, and stepping into the unknown. The version of you that feels safe, familiar, predictable, it has brought you this far, but it cannot take you where you truly want to go. Growth demands a kind of emotional courage. Most people avoid because to outgrow your old self means letting go of the identities you once clung to, the roles you've played, the beliefs you inherited, the stories you told yourself to survive. It means allowing parts of your past to become just that, past, not because they were wrong, but because they've expired, they've served their purpose, and now your future requires a new frequency. You are not failing when you feel disconnected from who you used to be. You are evolving, you're not confused, you're transitioning. And that's a beautiful thing, because every version of you that felt broken, small, insecure, was simply a stepping stone to the strength you're cultivating now. Don't mourn your old self. Celebrate the fact that you've grown enough to move beyond it. But understand this, becoming the best version of yourself will cost you comfort. It will cost you certainty. It will ask you to walk away from things that no longer align with your truth. And it will be worth every single moment of discomfort. Because on the other side of that shedding is a version of you who doesn't just exist, but fully lives. Not afraid of change, but fueled by it. Not held back by the past, but empowered by the future. The person you are becoming is far more powerful than the one you're leaving behind. Let that guide you, let that free you, let that become your new standard. Letting go of the need to please others is one of the most liberating things you will ever do for yourself. For too long, we've been conditioned to shrink our truths to fit the comfort zones of those around us. We've been taught to be agreeable, likable, digestible, told that being accepted is more important than being authentic. But the more you chase validation, the further you drift from your own essence. You cannot become the best version of yourself while living someone else's script. The version of you that's meant to rise is not interested in approval, it's interested in alignment. And alignment often means disappointing people who expected you to stay small. You will outgrow conversations, spaces, relationships, and even versions of yourself that once felt safe. That's okay. You are not here to entertain the comfort of others. You are here to honor the calling within you, even if it makes people uncomfortable. People will have opinions, some will misunderstand you, some will label your confidence as arrogance, your boundaries as selfishness, your ambition as too much. But don't let their limited perspective become the limit to your potential. You are not responsible for their comfort, you are responsible for your growth. The most powerful thing you can do is choose yourself without guilt, to walk in your truth without apology, to say, I am no longer living for applause, I am living for purpose. That shift changes everything. You stop waiting to be chosen, you stop seeking validation, you stop explaining your worth. And in that space of radical self-respect, you finally meet the version of you that doesn't just survive but thrives. The version that leads, that inspires, that builds, not by pretending to be something for others, but by boldly being everything you were always meant to be. Greatness is never about applause. It's not about spotlight moments or grand gestures that the world claps for. The real transformation, the kind that changes lives, happens quietly in the shadows when no one is watching. It happens in those small, invisible decisions you make every single day, when you choose discipline over comfort, when you keep your promise to yourself, even when it's hard, when you say no to what doesn't serve you, even if it's easier to say yes. The best version of you is not built in public, it's built in private. It's shaped in those early mornings when your alarm rings and your mind says stay, but your purpose whispers go. It's carved in those late nights when you're tired, but you push a little more, not to impress anyone, but to honor the standard you've set for your future. These tiny acts of integrity repeated over time create a person that no one else can replicate. People often wait for motivation to strike, but the truth is, it's consistency that changes your life. Motivation is fleeting, but habits are powerful. Your future self is not waiting for some big opportunity. It's waiting for you to show up daily, even in the smallest of ways. Don't underestimate what one good decision today can lead to tomorrow. That's how real elevation happens, not in bursts of glory, but in daily alignment with your vision. So, the next time you feel unseen, unappreciated, or unnoticed, remember the most important progress is the one you make when no one is clapping for you, because the real reward isn't in the recognition, it's in becoming someone you're proud to be. That is the quiet victory that echoes louder than any applause ever could. The moment you stop hiding from your own reflection is the moment your transformation begins. And not just the physical one, the deep, soul level awakening that changes the way you see yourself forever. Most people are scared to look inward, not because they're afraid of what they'll find, but because deep down they already know. They know the parts of themselves they've ignored, silenced, or suppressed. They know the dreams they've buried under fear. And facing that truth can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's necessary. You can't become the best version of yourself while avoiding the truth about who you are right now. You have to face the insecurities you pretend don't exist. You have to listen to the inner voice you keep muting in order to fit in. The mirror doesn't lie, it reflects what you bring to it. So instead of avoiding it, use it, look into your own eyes and ask, what am I running from? What do I need to heal? Who do I want to be when no one's watching? Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you're brave enough to sit with your silence, to observe your patterns, to take responsibility without self-hate. This is not about judgment, it's about ownership, owning your story, your habits, your choices, and deciding which ones get to stay and which ones must evolve. That honesty, that self-awareness becomes your power. Don't fear your reflection. Use it, because only when you stop hiding can you begin rewriting your life from a place of truth, courage, and intention. And that is where the best version of you starts to rise. You are not a finished product, you are a beautiful raw work in progress. And that's not a flaw, it's your superpower. The moment we start believing that we've arrived, we stop growing. And growth is the very essence of life. It's what keeps you alive, not just biologically, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. The world constantly tries to define you, to put you into boxes, to give you labels: smart, average, weak, strong, but none of those labels have the power to contain the infinite possibilities of who you can become. You have the capacity to evolve beyond every version of yourself you've ever been. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every failure is not the end. It's raw material for your transformation. But you must stop seeing growth as something that happens to lucky people. It happens to intentional people. People who wake up and decide, today I will be better than I was yesterday, even if it's by just one step. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be extraordinary to start. You just need to believe that you are worthy of the next level. When you embrace the idea that you are always becoming, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. You no longer live in fear of failure, because failure becomes feedback. You stop comparing your timeline with someone else's highlight reel. You start enjoying your process. And you begin to see that who you are today does not have to limit who you can be tomorrow. You were not born to stay the same. You were born to rise through layers of yourself and meet the next evolution of your spirit. Keep climbing, keep becoming. That's the real success story. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to evolve. And the most beautiful thing about life is that you are never a finished product. There's always room to grow, always more to discover, always a deeper version of yourself waiting to be unlocked. But that doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. You see, life doesn't give you who you wish to become, it gives you who you work to become. Every day, you're either creating yourself or destroying parts of you that no longer serve you. Becoming the best version of yourself isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. It's about honoring who you truly are beneath the noise, the pressure, the fear, the expectations. Growth starts the moment you stop running from your own reflection and start asking real questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I stand for? What kind of legacy am I building through my smallest actions? Because greatness isn't built in grand moments. It's hidden in the consistent, invisible choices you make when no one's clapping for you. You have to be willing to outgrow your old self. You have to shed the need to be liked, validated, or understood by everyone. You must stop editing your truth to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. Because when you water down your essence to make others comfortable, you don't just betray yourself, you lose the chance to live your highest potential. And that journey is going to demand everything from you. It's going to require strength when you're tired, patience when you're tested, belief when things don't make sense. But more than anything, it's going to require love. The kind of love that's fierce, the kind of love that holds you accountable, the kind of love that doesn't allow you to settle for a version of yourself that's anything less than powerful. You are allowed to reinvent yourself as many times as it takes. You're not stuck. You're not too late. You haven't missed your moment. The truth is, your moment starts the second you decide to claim it. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for someone to come save you. You are the permission. You are the right time. You are the one you've been waiting for. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to rise, to disrupt, to shine, to become everything you were destined to be. And that doesn't come from chasing perfection. It comes from embracing your power. Become the kind of person who wakes up every day and chooses growth, chooses truth, chooses impact, because the best version of you is not just a dream, it's a decision.